Hello and welcome. You're watching Express News, a show where we take you through the top 100 news stories of the day. I'm Untitled. Let's get started. Campaign is in full swing in Bihar for the forthcoming assembly elections. PM Modi addressed 3 public rallies in Sasaram, Gaya and Bhagalpur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said people have decided that those who have a history of making Bihar Bimaru will not be allowed to return. He was addressing a poll rally in Sasaram. Addressing a rally in Gaya, Prime Minister Modi said people of Bihar deserve quality education, better law and order, improved infrastructure and investment. Prime Minister slammed Mahagathbandhan for supporting Naxals. Addressing his last rally of the day in Bhagalpur, PM Modi slammed Congress and RJD for opposing development projects and stated that NDA's agenda remains same to work for people in the state. Opposition also geared up for Bihar Assembly election. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav addressed their first joint rally in Nevada. Tejasvi reiterated his party's conviction of providing employment to 10 lakh youths of Bihar if RJD forms the government. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi appealed to voters to vote for the development of Bihar. Bahujan Samaj Party Chief Mayawati also addressed election meetings in Rohtas and Kaimur for upcoming assembly polls today. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad spoke on BJP manifesto promising free COVID vaccine in Bihar, saying healthcare should become a priority in the COVID pandemic. He further said it shows the concern of the government for the people of Bihar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate 3 key projects in Gujarat on Saturday via video conferencing. Prime Minister will launch the Kisan Sarvodaya Yojana for the farmers of Gujarat. Under the scheme, farmers of Gujarat will be able to avail power supply from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Prime Minister will also inaugurate the ropeway at Girnar. Prime Minister will also inaugurate Pediatric Heart Hospital attached with the UN Mehta Institute of Cardiology and Research Center and a mobile application for telecardiology at the Ahmedabad Civil Hospital in Ahmedabad. Election Commission has approached the Supreme Court against Madhya Pradesh High Court's order restricting physical political rallies in 9 districts in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Poll panel has said that holding elections is in its domain and High Court order interferes with the poll process. Using state-of-the-art facial recognition system, CBSE will enable students to download their digital academic documents of class 10 and 12. This application is now available on Parniyam, Manjusha and DigiLocker at digilocker.gov.in/CBSE-certificate for all 2020 records. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today released a commemorative postage stamp to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath attended inauguration of Mahila Help Desk in all 1,535 Uttar Pradesh police stations via video conferencing. The government has rejected a notice circulating on social media which claims that CTET 2020 examination has been postponed to the 5th of November 2020. The Press Information Bureau terms the notice as fake. The CBSE has said the exam date will be announced on the CTET website. Veteran Maharashtra politician Eknath Khadse today joined the Nationalist Congress Party. Khadse joined NCP in the presence of party chief Sharad Pawar and other top leaders in Mumbai. Maharashtra government has announced 10,000 crore rupees relief package for crop loss stricken farmers due to unseasonal rain in various parts of the state. The relief package will be distributed to farmers by Diwali. India has assumed the chairmanship of the governing body of International Labour Organization or ILO. Labour and Employment Secretary Apurva Chandra has been elected as the chairperson of the governing body of the ILO for the period October 2020 to June 2021. Government has decided to permit all OCI and PIO card holders and all other foreign nationals intending to visit India for any purpose except on a tourist visa to enter by air or water routes through authorized airports and seaport immigration checkposts. All such travellers will, however, have to strictly adhere to the guidelines of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare regarding quarantine and other COVID-19 matters. India has successfully launched anti-ship missile. Navy's missile corvette INS Prabal fired an anti-ship missile during a practice drill. The missile hit its target with deadly accuracy at its maximum range. India is reporting a high number of recoveries. The total recovered cases are nearly 70 lakhs. The difference between active cases and recovered cases is also consistently increasing and stands at 62,52,988 today. The recovered cases are nearly 10 times more than the active cases. 73,979 patients have recovered and discharged in the last 24 hours, whereas the new confirmed cases are 54,366. The national recovery rate has further progressed to 89.53%. Case fatality rate has further reduced, going down to 1.51%. Indian Council of Medical Research, the apex body at the forefront of formulating COVID-19 testing strategy in India, has achieved a milestone of conducting 10 crore tests yesterday. With average testing of more than 10 lakhs per day in the last 17 days, till now it stands at 10 crore, 1,13,085 samples tested for COVID-19 so far. In a huge boost to India's indigenous vaccine plan, Bharat Biotech has been given clearance for phase 3 trials in India. Covaxin's third phase trials will start in the first week of November. Under the phase 3 trial, vaccine will be administered to 22,000 people across 19 places. The government aims to vaccinate 20 to 25 crore people between January and July next year. With 1,989 testing labs in the country, including 1,122 government labs and 867 private labs, the daily testing capacity has got a substantial boost. The Indian equity market ended higher on Friday, led by gains in auto, IT and metal stocks amid positive global cues. At close, the Sensex was up 127.01 points or 0.31% at 40,685.50. Nifty was up 33.9 points or 0.28% at 11,930.4. Gold and silver prices in India today remained muted after a short fall in the previous session. On MCX, gold futures were up 0.16% to 50,845 per 10 gram. Silver futures edged 0.1% lower to 62,551 rupees per kg. The rupee depreciated 7 paise to close at 73.61 against the US dollar as the domestic equity market was trading with significant gains. Oil marketing companies maintained domestic petrol and diesel rates at existing levels on Friday, marking the 21st straight day of status quo in the price of petrol. The Reserve Bank of India on Friday released the minutes of October 7 to 9 meeting of its Monetary Policy Committee, outlining the thinking of the central bank's leaders about the economy. Consumer Affairs Secretary Leena Nandan today said that onion is being provided to states as per their demand. Addressing a press conference, the Consumer Affairs Secretary said 35 metric tons of onions have already been provided to states. Consumer Affairs Secretary said the government has imposed a stock holding limit on onion traders to check prices. Notification has been issued in this regard. Stock limit for wholesaler is 25 metric tons and for retailers it is 2 metric tons. Over 4 crore 20 lakh people have been affected so far globally by COVID-19. COVID-19 has claimed more than 11 lakh 43,000 lives worldwide. More than 3 crore 12 lakh people have recovered from the viral disease so far. The US remains worst affected from COVID-19 in terms of infections and fatalities. In the US, with over 86.6 lakh cases of infection, while the death toll in the country has crossed 2,28,000. US is trailed by Brazil in terms of fatalities. French PM extends COVID-19 curfew to 38 more administrative departments throughout France. The Prime Minister said the curfew would now impact a total of 46 million people, or two-thirds of the French population, and would include some overseas territories. Curfew measures would remain in place for 6 weeks and the situation would be evaluated next week. Greece will impose a night curfew in areas most affected by COVID-19, Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis said on Thursday. Greece PM said movement would be banned from 12:30 in the night to 5 in the morning in locations deemed high risk and where elevated surveillance was necessary. This is based on a 4-tier risk assessment by authorities. The much-awaited final U.S. presidential debate took place on Thursday in Nashville ahead of the November 3 election. U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday said that a COVID-19 vaccine is ready and will be coming out within weeks. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden said that anyone responsible for deaths should not remain as President of the United States of America. Biden alleged that foreign countries are trying to interfere in the U.S. elections. He also added that anyone who meddles in the election of U.S. will pay a price. Russian President Vladimir Putin had personally intervened to ensure that Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny could receive medical treatment in Germany. Navalny, aged 44, fell ill on a flight in Siberia on the 20th of August and was airlifted to Berlin for treatment. According to the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, blood samples taken from him confirmed the presence of a Novichok nerve agent. Navalny was discharged from hospital last month and is recovering in Germany. Hopes of ending nearly a month of bloodshed in the mountain enclave of Nagorno-Karabakh looked slim on Thursday as Azeri and ethnic Armenian forces fought new battles on the eve of talks in Washington. Russian President Vladimir Putin said he hoped that the U.S. would help Moscow broker a solution to the conflict. Putin added that he speaks to leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan several times a day by phone. But he said those hopes have been dented by the continued heavy fighting in and around Nagorno-Karabakh. Veteran politician Saad al-Hariri was named Prime Minister of Lebanon for the 4th time on Thursday. Hariri pledged to form a new government that can tackle the country's worst crisis since its 1975 to 1990 civil war. With multicolored lights and jets of water blasting into the night sky, the UAE's newest attraction on Thursday secured the Guinness World Record for the world's largest fountain. Located at the point in Dubai, the Palm Fountain was unveiled in a launch that was live-streamed across the world. A huge crowdsourced mural celebrating diversity in the National Health Service was unveiled in London. Dubbed 200 Nationalities, One NHS, the giant motif features a portrait of a young NHS health worker and dozens of drawings and paintings of flowers crowdsourced from across the country. Mohammad Ikram flexes the muscles and around his mouth and quickly pushes the cue ball with his lower lip across the table, making a straight shot straight into the corner pocket. The 32-year-old, who was born without arms, is now well known among the local snooker community for being able to master the art of the game by only using his mouth. Bat pet owners could face jail time in a northern Mexican state as local authorities step up measures against animal cruelty. A team of vets have the authority to check the health status of pets that are reported to be mistreated. International Snow Leopard Day is being celebrated today to create awareness of the preservation of the species. Union Minister for Forest, Environment and Climate Change, Prakash Javadekar, in a tweet said that snow leopards are important in maintaining the ecological balance of high altitudes. AC Milan's red-hot form continued as they equaled a 56-year-old club record by beating Celtic in the Europa League group stage opener. Celtic suffered a 3-1 defeat at home to Milan after a pulsating 90 minutes of end-to-end action. Arsenal fought back to win their opening game of the Europa League campaign 2-1 against Rapid Vienna. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and David Luiz scored Arsenal's goals in what was a quick-fire double. Arsenal have won their opening group game in each of the past 4 Europa League campaigns. Novak Djokovic regrets the failure to win either the US Open or the French Open in his bid to become the world's most trophy-laden player, the world #1 said on Thursday. Portugal and Juventus forward Cristiano Ronaldo could miss next week's Champions League showdown against Barcelona after testing positive again for COVID-19. The 35-year-old Juventus striker was first diagnosed while training with Portugal on the 13th of October before flying back to Turin. Ronaldo will be given the all-clear if he tests negative 24 hours before the game. No Ronaldo could spell trouble for Juventus as they face Lionel Messi and company. Brazilian soccer legend Pelé celebrates his 80th birthday today. He is the only man to win the World Cup 3 times. The first of 3 titles came in 1958, followed by another in 1962. The third win came after a gap of 8 years in 1970. The 3-time World Cup winner will spend the day isolated with a few family members outside Sao Paulo. Former Team India captain Kapil Dev suffered a heart attack on Friday morning, following which he was immediately hospitalized at a hospital in Delhi. The 62-year-old legendary cricketer underwent angioplasty and he is said to be in a stable condition now. Marcos Giron upset #1 seed David Goffin to reach his first ATP Tour quarter-final at the European Open in Antwerp on Thursday. This win was the Americans' first against a top 20 opponent. Goffin is currently ranked 14. Giron will face Australia's Alex de Minaur in the quarterfinals. Number 3 seed KHACHANOV also booked a quarterfinal match when he beat Zizou Bergs, who had a friendly crowd behind him on home turf. KHACHANOV will face Briton Daniel Evans in his next match. 5th seed Canadian MILOS RAONIC overcame Cameroon NORRIE to set up a quarterfinal match against Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov. Diego Schwartzman eased past Germany's Oscar Ott on Thursday to book a spot in the Hulk's Championship quarterfinals. The world #9 Diego Schwartzman will face Spain's Alejandro Davidovich Fokina next as he seeks his first indoor title in Cologne. Home favourite and 7th seed Jan-Lennard Struff lost his second-round match to Japan's Yoshihito Nishioka. Nishioka will next face Canada's young star 5th seed Felix Auger-Aliassime. Italian Yannick Sinner parred past France's Pierre Hugues Herbert in straight sets 6-3, 6-1. Sinner will face Gilles Simon in the quarterfinals after the Frenchman knocked out Canada's Denis Shapovalov. In the doubles, Alexander Zverev and his brother Misha were sent packing by Kevin Gravids and Andreas Mies in an all-German showdown. According to the World Anti-Doping Agency, a 3-year investigation into the International Weightlifting Federation has uncovered cases of suspected urine substitution and doppelgangers being used to impersonate athletes. Hollywood actor Tom Holland recently unveiled his first look from his upcoming movie Uncharted. Tom Holland took to his Instagram handle to share the poster. Jussie Smollett has set the cast for his upcoming feature directional debut B-Boys Blues, which is currently filming in New York. Miley Cyrus's long-awaited new album has a release date at last. The singer announced on Thursday night that his seventh studio album, titled Plastic Hearts, will drop next month. Ending his lockdown, Karthik Aaryan to team up with Arya director Madhubani for a thriller project to roll in December in Mumbai. The film will be shot at multiple locations in Mumbai in a start-to-finish schedule. Suraj Pe Mangal Bhari, starring Diljit Dosanjh, Manoj Bajpayee and Fatima Sana Sheikh, is all set to release in theatres this Diwali. But Zee Studios keeps the OTT option open if talks with multiplexes fail. South Korean actor Lee Min-ho has been confirmed to make his Hollywood debut with Apple's new drama series Pachinko. Set to begin production on the 26th of October, Pachinko is an adaptation of the Min Jin Lee novel of the same name. Bahubali star Prabhas on his 41st birthday took to Instagram to unveil the motion poster of his upcoming film Radhe Shyam. Radhe Shyam is touted to be an epic love story set against the backdrop of Europe. The second season of Mindy Kaling's coming-of-age series Never Have I Ever will start production in November. It will be taking all the necessary COVID-19 precautions while shooting. Filmmaker Rakesh Roshan's wife and actor Hrithik Roshan's mother, Pinky Roshan, has tested positive for COVID-19. Pinky Roshan celebrated her 67th birthday on Thursday. She is asymptomatic and is quarantining at her home. And actress Katrina Kaif is all set to launch a new series titled K Conversations. It features inspiring stories of women who have become icons of womanhood and their stories of courage. That's it then in this edition of the Express News. News and updates will continue on DD India. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for having me and Sheikh.